As the Nuggets travel to Miami for Game 3 tomorrow night. We got you covered on this story. The Nuggets have won 3 straight on the road, but it has been a struggle defensively. They're outscoring opponents by 10 at home and allowing just over 103 points per game. On the road, their defensive rating increases, and so does their points allowed per game. They face a Heat team that had another come-from-behind victory in Game 2. The Heat have 7 double-digit comeback victories, tied for the most in the last 25 playoffs.
I don't pay attention to stats. I'm not gonna lie, I've said that all along. As long as we win, everybody's playing great. If we lose, and I hope we don't do that too often, everybody can blame me for whatever reason. I'm not worried about it, but nobody can blame anybody for anything whenever we win.
You know, they're a really intelligent team, really smart. They have really smart players, Jimmy, Bam, Kyle. As a team, they know what they want to give up or whatever. You know, they're really intelligent from the coach to the players.
We've been in positions like this before. I mean, it's the first loss in 7 games, I think. So, like, we're not doing a bad job. We just gotta refocus. Sharpen the mentality, and like I said, be more deliberate on both ends of the floor, and we'll be fine.
Sounds like Jamal Murray is taking advice of Michael Malone after Sunday night's loss. Senior NBA reporter Brian Windhorst joining us now with much more. Wendy, what keyed this Heat team defensively on Sunday night?
Yeah, Kevin, there's been a lot of focus on what the Heat have done to Nikola Jokic, but their game plan was really more targeted at Jamal Murray. They switched Jimmy Butler to be his primary defender, and the effects were profound. Murray was not able to get as much space. He had 35 fewer touches in Game 2 than Game 1. That led to 8 fewer points and 7 fewer shots, and that included his fourth quarter fury. So as the Nuggets prepare for their strategy for Game 3, look for some new wrinkles in their offense to be able to get Butler off the ball, or at least to get the ball into Murray's hands more, to get that really difficult to stop 2-man game between Jokic and Murray revved back up.
Okay, from the offense to the defense from Denver, they allowed the Heat to shoot an astounding 49% from 3 in Game 2. Open shots, they didn't make them in Game 1. Open shots in Game 2, the Heat made it. So what is Denver doing to try and rectify that before tomorrow night?
Yeah, the Nuggets had what I have to imagine was a pretty nasty film session here in Miami this morning, where Michael Malone showed them 17 different clips where he felt that they had breakdowns on defense to allow the Heat clean shots, whether it was focus, whether it was strategy, whether it was just plain laziness. He felt that it led to more than 40 Heat points, and he is promising that film session, where the players were encouraged to openly call each other out and deal with the situation, he is pretty much assuring that he is going to see a different level of effort in Game 3 tomorrow night from his team.
Nuggets are 9-1 this postseason when they hold their opponents under 38% shooting from 3. We'll see how this plays out tomorrow. Wendy, thank you.
Still to come on SportsCenter, more live coverage from the NBA Finals. How the Nuggets are addressing concerns about their lack of effort in Game 2's fourth quarter collapse. Plus, the latest on when Tyler Herro could rejoin the Heat.
Back to the NBA Finals. Game 2, the Heat had 5 different players in double figures, and 3 scored more than 20 points. Even more impressively, Miami had a different leading scorer in every quarter of Game 2, and none of them were named Jimmy Butler. Complete opposite here for Denver, which got 41 points from Jokic, and he dished out only 4 assists, including the regular season and the postseason. Denver has lost 9 straight games when Jokic has fewer than 5 dimes. And we got you covered with reports from both teams. Coming to us from Key Biscayne is Ohm Youngmisuk, who's with the Nuggets, and Nick Friedel, who's covering the hometown Heat. Let's start with Denver here. The Nuggets have had nearly 48 hours to digest Michael Malone's blunt message about their lack of effort in Game 2. Ohm, what are the players saying about turning the corner going into tomorrow night?
Well, first of all, Kev and Elle, we are missing you here at the beautiful Cleat in Key Biscayne.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'm not Nick and I are not the only ones that have gotten out here in Miami. The Denver Nuggets, upon arriving in South Beach, went out and took a field trip, if you will. One player told me they got on a bus. It was players and select coaches, and they were wondering where they were going. It took an hour to get to Jeff Green's South Florida home. Upon getting there, they said they had a beautiful dinner. Jamal Murray said they were able to forget about Game 2. He said the place was so far away, he joked it was in Narnia. I don't know if there's a Narnia in South Florida, but this is where the team bonded, and they are resilient. They feel like they've bounced back several times in this postseason, now facing a 1-1 challenge going into Game 3. They're confident they can turn things around. They're going to need Michael Porter Jr., hopefully, to feel good vibes from that dinner. He's shooting 3 for 17 from behind the arc so far in the finals. Porter Jr. said today that if he gets the same looks, he's confident he's going to be able to knock them down. He just needs more intensity and more energy, especially on the defensive end as well. And I would also expect that he's going to be cutting to the basket more and not settling for just outside shots.
And keep in mind, Denver was outscored by 15 points in Game 2 when Porter was on the floor, enjoying his best life. That is Ohm. L, to you.
Yeah, Miami was enjoying their best lives downtown. 3-point shooting rebounded significantly for Miami from Game 1 to Game 2. They made a higher percentage of their open looks from deep. Overall, they hit 17 threes. That's their most in any finals game in franchise history, and hit nearly 49% of their attempts after shooting just 33% from behind the arc in Game 1. As we say hello to our NBA reporter, Nick Friedel, who joins us there to talk more about the Heat. We knew that Miami would have to bounce back from deep. I mean, it didn't get much worse than in Game 1, but it did beg the question of how potentially Tyler Herro could fit in, when or if he should return. What's the latest on him?
El, we just found out from the Heat, Tyler Herro is out for Game 3. The word came down about 45 minutes ago. Eric Spoelstra told us after practice he still hasn't been cleared. They are not comfortable yet with him playing in games. He's gone through contact for about a week, but he's just not ready to play. He's been out about 6 weeks after that injury, and it remains a question as to whether or not we will see him. What Spoelstra was trying to make sure everybody was clear on is, if and when Herro does return in this series, don't expect that much. We're talking about a guy who has missed a lot of time, who figures to be off the bench playing maybe 10 or 12 minutes, but Spoelstra did not want to say any definitive timeline. He said, I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know what's going to happen. Herro absolutely would provide a little balance off the bench offensively, but the Heat are still so confident, that they'll find a way. And it's been the whole reason they've gotten to this point in the postseason, and it continues to be that belief that is the engine behind what is driving them.
Yeah, there'd be actually no blueprint for reinforcements, because if Herro did return at any point in the series, he would be the first 20-point-per-game scorer in history to miss 10 straight playoff games and then make his return in the NBA Finals. Nick Friedel, he likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Good thing he's in Florida. Kevin?
More from the finals coming up. Bam Adebayo sounds off on the challenges of defending Nikola Jokic. Malika Andrews goes one-on-one with the Heat center. That's ahead. Plus, how some major offseason changes in Dallas are changing expectations for Dak and the Cowboys to end their struggles in the NFL playoffs. Swagoo! Up next.